Okay, hello, welcome back to the stream. My name is Milo, and my pronouns are they, them. And once again, we're dipping into the BC Kid well. Now, we've seen this already, but this time, I'm going to actually complete it. Hi Gibbon, how's it going? This is GB Genjin land. Viva Chikkun Okoku. Viva Chikkun Kingdom, 1994 on the Game Boy. It's, I've discovered, a minigame fest. In the sense that you basically play through what would be sort of the bonus levels in any of the platformer games. I'm gonna see if I can do a little bit of Google Translate camera because this goes by so quick. I'll see what it says. So I'll just do a quick restart. This time I'm also playing on a Game Boy Color type interface, so I won't have the border, but I will have greater access to palettes on the go. He loves sleeping. He was sleeping in the sand. But then, I don't know what that is, Tokoroga. Tokoro is like place. I was kidnapped by the sea, but I'm still asleep. Ignore the pronoun used there. That sort of renders them in first person, but that wouldn't be necessarily in the original Japanese. So like, yeah. He was carried away by the sea while still asleep. Although it could be a sort of internal monologue. Welcome to Chikkun's nursery. This is the playground I made for my cute children. I'm going to go for a walk. Oh god. Okay, I have rewind. And it won't crash on this emulator. I'm going to... Oh my gosh, hold on. I'm going to go for a walk with Mochi from now on, so please enjoy. There's got to be some mistake there, but it seems a bit like filler dialogue, not that important. Gibbon says, objectively it's not a great day, but she's trying not to let it bother her. Yeah. I assume you're referring to the Unity kerfuffle that's going on. Pretty bad situation over there for game developers everywhere. Yeah, not good. So, yeah, this is a 1994 game, published by Hudson, developed probably by Red. The 1989 copyright is for the original game on the PC Engine, and 94 is for this current one. This is like, you know, peak BC Kid days here. We did this last time, but just to recap, this option on the menu is a little practice playground where you can check out the controls, and the little Muppet down there will tell you, or do a little bit of running commentary. But yes, we will be using sort of standard platformer mechanics in the minigames, which is nice, because I was expecting something a bit more Mario Party-esque and was glad that it was not that. And the other thing to note, which I did last time, but it's worth saying again, the design of BC Kid here is taken from the original game in the series, whereas for most other games that came out, they used the Genjin 2 design, which was refreshed. Even the Famicom port of the first game used that design, and many other things. Alright, let's get into the real game and do it for real, and I'll actually complete it this time fully. Yeah, really rotten timing with that one. There you go, Ben. Yeah. Hang on, that's the new face. That icon of BC Kid's face. That's his new face, isn't it? Okay. Doesn't really matter what order I do them in, I'll pick Breakout first. So you buy minigame rounds, there's 4 rounds for each of the 6 ones, and by completing 4 of any one game, you'll unlock a 7th. My intention is to completely do all the games during this stream, to give a full accounting to this game. Let's see, Gibbon's saying... she also found out So the construction going on in her apartment complex will be getting to her unit last in 2 weeks' time, which they have finally informed them of a week after they'd already moved all the furniture to give them access, making things inconvenient. God, that sounds horrible. Is there anything worse than, like, bad apartment managers and strata and stuff? It's terrible. Alright. Oh, I gotta get the ball, so... Oh, I made it in time, so we're crab. Now, we saw our sprites for crab holding ball in that ebook guide to the series, so we're gonna try and grab that ball. Yes! Awesome! So it looks like the crab really is a power-up. I thought it was a detriment, a malus, but it's actually a bonus because you can grab the ball, take it where you want, and then release it. So this is a kind of power-up you see sometimes in these breakout type games. Why is it flashing? Oh, I must be flashing as well. I'm reverting from crab form. I guess we don't get to be the perfect life form forever. It's only fair. Let's see, what else is Gibbon saying? She says, the food that I ordered because I'm out of stuff and didn't want to go shopping has some gluten cross-contamination. Oh no! So there's health problems as well. But hey, it's National Chocolate Milkshake Day, so I had one of those and have been playing Picross. Oh, that's sick. Which Picross are you playing? Is that new one out yet? But yeah, any Picross game is good to play, and any time is good to play it. Good to hear. I should get to another one of those games. There's plenty in my backlog that I haven't got to yet. I think I played all the Jupiter 3DS ones, but there's a lot more third-party ones on DS and 3DS that I was looking into trying out. I don't like the Switch ones because sometimes they have touchscreen support. I like playing with the stylus for Picross. It's not consistent whether they'll have it or not. Alright, we need more, so we'll try more round ones to get some more money. Chikkun Tataki. I think that means fight the chickens. Chocolate milkshake sounds pretty good right now. I don't know what that does. Because whatever smilers you get inside the, or what were they called? Nico chip. Whatever Nico chips you get inside the game get cashed in at the end of that game to give you points, right? Unless... Did he just steal some of my currency? That would be pretty rude. Oh, I missed it. Nope. I was just reading about the new release, Super Bomberman R2, which is relevant to... Oh, rude. Relevant to previous Bonk streams, as Bonk was a guest character in Saturn Bomberman, as I covered last week. And yeah, I don't think he's in the new game. I don't know if there's that many new characters in R2 that weren't in R, but also a lot of stuff is carried over from R Online, a previous release that was free to play but shut down, and has now been rolled over into a retail game, which seems a bit questionable. But yeah, they don't really like acknowledging the Hudson stuff much anymore, despite the fact that Bomberman is a Hudson property. It's like they have enough trouble, you know, adequately covering their own IP, Konami that is. Yeah, I don't know. We tried to figure out last time, there was something in that dialogue about finding some Nico chips on the ground and do you turn them into the police or something. It was this one. Kevin says she's not caught up on the Switch Picross games. she's playing S6 right now. Cool, sounds good. And yeah, they have got up to S9 so far with those. No, wrong one. So she's still got up to S9 plus the Sega one to do. The Sega one's the only one I've played, and I played through the whole thing, and just after I finished, they patched it to include stylus support, so I had to play it the inferior way with buttons the whole time. I was pretty mad about that. Let's see, there's also X, Picross X. I don't remember what that is. And Logi Art Grimoire came out today, which seems like Jupiter's follow-up to Pict Logica, but without a license attached. That sounds pretty good. I'll have to check that one out. Pict Logica was interesting. I played all that in Japanese. The battle mode was my least favorite part, but if they iterated on it, it might be interesting. Okay, let's just keep going down the list. We've got just enough. Might be some grinding required. But that's what today's stream is about. We'll grind if we need to. Oh yeah, I'll also need to remember every now and then to do this. Wait, this? Hey, I can change which palette we have going with the Game Boy Color like palette support. So this is like pocket colors, this is pea soup original color. Whereas, yeah, that's like a more stark monochrome one. I think this is supposed to be more a pocket palette, perhaps. But then we get into the colored ones. Let's go into the game and see what it looks like. Oh, this is Spooky Zone. This sort of muted greyish palette works well for Spooky Zone, I think. And then the active parts will turn up red, which actually helps me interact with them. That's fun. Now remember, on this one, it's sort of random which elements are going to pop out and attack you. You have to try and get through with your health intact. Excuse me, thank you. But you can attack some things. The ghost you could attack, then you had to hit it a few times. Given says she prefers playing with buttons due to wrist problems and such. Yeah, that's fair enough. Understandable. I just like the speed you can get with the stylus. My hands do cramp up after a while. But like, I have some wrist problems, but they're not triggered by the particular motions of Picross so much. Oh, that's right, I haven't actually bought it. Bye. So the footprints is you leave, and then the other one says rule, to find out the rules. Alright. This one was the roller coaster game. Oh, I actually got quite a chunk of change from Horror Zone, didn't I? How much is Dino eating? Oh, never mind, I'll find out later. So I guess the idea is Chikkun Orkoku. Chikkun Kingdom is a theme park that Jewel has set up. So there's a haunted house attraction, a roller coaster, a breakout game, climb a building simulator. I don't know. Not all of them really fit the idea of a theme park, but some of them sure do. What were the other ones? Yeah, we'll find out. So it's everyone's favorite, the auto-scroller. Nice. Hovering is back. Love to hover. I was pretty bummed that they removed hovering as a mechanic from the arcade game. They really changed a lot of things up with that. Some for good, some for ill. Interesting choices with that one. What? I forgot about that. I was staring at the HUD trying to figure out what S and G meant. I think it's start and goal, probably. Oh yeah, Gibbon has been really enjoying her Playdate, which arrived recently. That's the little modern Game Boy-like gaming handheld with a lot of cool indie stuff on it, and the novel hand crank mechanism. It sounds pretty cool. She says, I recently installed the demo for Tau, which is similar to SNES Star Fox, but on a cylinder. So is it like Tempest? And you use the crank to rotate around the stage. That's sick. I like that idea. Today was release day for Resonant Tale, a fun little Link's Awakening homage. Wow, yeah, some real cool stuff on that device. Sounds like it. While we're here, we can buy the next stage of Breakout. Just enough for that. Nope, nope. It's like an action board game. No. Oh, okay. He actually chased after me because I refused to hand it into the police. Oh, maybe the thief is the police, but we're in, like, evil zones, so the police are bad. Not that the police aren't bad in non-evil zones, but, yeah, that's kind of the cartoon logic that's happening in this game, I guess. Ah, nice green background. I like this one. Oh yeah, that's right. Gotta hit the food into the waiting mouths of the hungry dinos. With ample opportunity to grab Nico chips on the way. Oops. You just gotta make sure to do it when they're ready and waiting for the food. What? I guess they don't like some food? Oh. Yeah, I know what this is. There's this kind of perception in Japan that green capsicums are like a disliked food by kids, right? And I don't know what that one is. Was that a da-da? No. I gotta pay more attention to this next time. But I think some foods are liked and some are disliked. But like capsicums have always been part of the food rotation in BC Kid games, so I didn't think of them as bad. But if you think of like the perception broccoli or Brussels sprouts have in the West, green capsicum is similar in Japan, I think, from my understanding. Gibbon says that Tau is sort of like Tempest, but you're on the outside of the rotating drum, and it's got the same style of rendered graphics as Star Fox has. Oh, that sounds really cool. Yeah. So I think we did stage 2 in this last time, and that's as far as we got. So we're about to overtake our record now, and then we'll continue with the game as it goes. Oh. Nice. Interesting. Gibbon is saying that she wouldn't say that it's a perception so much, it's just a cultural palate difference in terms of culinary palate, meaning that kids' palates don't agree with green peppers in Japan, which is another way of saying green capsicum. The viewer. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh. The power-ups do get stuck on the bottom of the screen until the ball advances down. I don't know if I missed that wait, but here's another one coming. We don't want to miss our opportunity to be a crab. That would be tragic. Gibbon's link to the page for Tau. which is on itch. Oh, so you get Playdate games from itch. That's really convenient. Or you can get them from there anyway. I'd love an opportunity to hit the ball at some point, but this is good too. This is kind of always the part of Brick Breaker that I always found most satisfying, was to hit a ball above the line of blocks so that it bounces around by itself and scores you a ton of points and clears just on its own. Oh. Crap. That's alright, we got plenty of 1-ups here. Just sad that I missed the crab. Didn't get best use out of the crab there. Okay, 1. Whoop! Phew, close one. I will check that out later. Actually, I'll click it right now. Live on stream. Let's go. Oh, that looks awesome. Yeah, look at these GIFs. Amazing. Beauty. What's the resolution on that screen? I think it's remarkable what they're doing with it. What some of the devs are able to do with it. .240 by 400. So bigger than a Game Boy. That might be around GBA territory, but it's a monochrome screen. I think people have called it 1-bit graphics because the pixels are only ever black or white. There's no shades of grey, but so you have to use dithering the same way those bones in the middle are. It's an interesting challenge that results in some really cool styles, I think, sometimes. 1-bit, yeah. I don't know what bit graphics a Game Boy has, but although obviously we're in a Game Boy Color, we can do anything. Look, everything's orange now. Or like pink? I don't know what you would call this. Brown? Red? It's on that spectrum somewhere. Okay, there's an official Playdate game shop, but there's also a developer-supported side-loading portal, so you can get games elsewhere like itch. Tau is going to be on the official shop, but also has an itch page where the demo is. Ooh. Cool. Sounds pretty good. Most of the really good stuff you could find on itch ends up in the official shop, though. Given saying the Game Boy is considered 8-bit. Good to know. And I know that sometimes people toss around the term 8-bit erroneously, especially for modern stuff that's evoking retro style. Like 8-bit is a kind of catch-all term that is used incorrectly sometimes. So yeah, I wasn't sure whether it applied. I think originally it wasn't a descriptor of graphics, but a descriptor of like the kind of processing chip in there or something, but I don't really know for sure. Oh yeah, clear! Good to see Crab getting some use. Got to check out the ball grabbing option, that was nice. So that bonus is really the top scorer in all these games. What do you get that for? So the top one is like clear score. Extra balls, smileys. Bonus must be like time remaining. Is this timed? I'll have to keep an eye on that going forward. Yeah, sorry, I misspoke there. I said it's considered 8-bit, but Gibbon's words were Game Boy is 8-bit. She is being pedantic and correcting me there. Good call. Alright, 479, let's just go in order here. And then I might even be able to grab. Whatever. He's got mixed up with the yes and no stuff. Do you want to continue? Are you sure you want to leave? Etc, etc. Annoying. Okay. The whack-a-mole. Guess whack-a-mole could be like an arcade game that you could find in an amusement park. This background reminds me of... Oh, which one was it? There's a game where you have a lab, and it might have been Bonk 3. Or maybe Super Bonk 2. Background was quite like this. Though it looks a little bit like the moon base in Super 1 as well. Oh, come on. Oh! New enemy type. Takes a few hits to knock him out. Oh! That was rude. Just cleared. Guess that was a sort of mechanized stage in arcade as well. Yeah. Oh, 9 out of 10. So I didn't win? Oh, 10 was like the maximum, but I had to get 9 to clear it? Oh, hang on. What does it say at the top? Kekka Hapyo. I don't know what that means, but I can look that up. Kekka... Result, consequence, outcome, effect. Hapyo... Announcement, publication, present. So, presentation of results. Results screen. Oh, I've got some comments elsewhere, hold on. Yeah, okay, I'm checking that now. Okay. Yeah, clip my ticket. That sounds like something Fiddlesworth would say, and grab by the goalies. Well, clip my ticket. What is that icon? So that's whack-a-mole, that's breakout, that's climb the building, that's roller coaster, that's feed the dinos. What's this one again? Let's find out. Because I don't remember. There was some other dialogue there, I don't know what it said. Maybe she gave me a discount. Oops. No. Yeah. Sorry. Mystery Zone. It's spelt a little weirdly, but this is the ghost tour. New palette time. Ooh, the more muted one. Looks pretty good. And things get brighter when they start acting up. So now we're in a haunted castle. Some spooky suits of armor. Oh. Don't waste my time. An evil reflection from the spooky mirror. Whoa. Oh. Okay, we can bounce off the fire. It's like a cartoon when you can tell something's going to move because it's painted in a different style from the background. Oops. What is that? It's like the fountain of the little boy peeing, but this one's like a demon or something. What? Oh, there's only a gap down the bottom. Oops. Never mind. Weird. Gibbon says she loves haunted castle levels. Yeah. It's a bit of a new one for a BC kid, I think, to have a haunted castle. We did the graveyard in Super 2. And we've had castles, of course, with drool living in them. Seems like you actually get more points on later levels, maybe. Time for Dino Zone. While I'm here, I'll try and... Oh no, that's in this menu. Yeah, here we go. Oh, that's more expensive. So we'll feed some dinos and come back to that one. Similar to the little Muppets that were in the tutorial zone. I was having problems this morning with Discord notifications. Not firing off properly. Oh, that's a nice one. That vibrant red, bit of blue and green. Lovely. And the green capsicums are actually green in this one. Alright, so eggplant. Eggplant is bad, apparently. So avoid that. The carrot is good. Why is eggplant bad? Everybody likes eggplant. That's crazy. Maybe I'm showing my cultural privilege there. It's like a lot of things. If you prepare it right, it's delicious. But it could be that... could be it has a reputation or a palate culture difference. I've never heard of eggplant or nasu in Japanese being considered like a picky food kind of thing, you know? Is that a thing? Gibbons says, eggplant is always bad in games. I'm not sure why. Eggplants are bad pickups in other games. And there's, oh yeah, Eggplant Wizard and Kid Icarus, she's brought up. But I can't think of offhand any other games where an eggplant is a bad pickup. The thing that immediately came to mind was there's an eggplant like faux retro minigame in Yume Nikki, the excellent sort of psychological horror adventure game. The famous freeware indie game about Madotsuki and her dream journeys. That's just what I thought of. I can't immediately call to mind any other eggplant things. But ask him, it says probably another Japan thing. But I think we figured out which ones are to be avoided in that minigame now. Oh, we're in a sci-fi roller coaster this time. Actually, this might be the same as it was last time. Okay, I got hurt, but I fell right back in the car, so I think it's fine. Did I pick stage 1 again? No, this is different. I forgot I would fall out. Oh! Ooh, thanks for that. Yeah. The kind of shakiness as it goes along is very distracting. Oh! Wow. What kind of roller coaster is this? They're shooting bullet bills at you from off screen. This stage is much longer. Oh, we got some climbing on this one. That's nice. Oof. Some generous hit detection there. I haven't played much of the original Kid Icarus, but I remember in Uprising they would turn you into the eggplant wizards turn you into an eggplant. if I get points for defeating the boards. I do. And a generous bonus. Okay, Chikkun Mansion is the next one. Oh, LP Samuel M. Oh, I haven't seen you in ages. You've been in my stream before, haven't you? Good to see you again. Anyway, they say that the original Kid Icarus also has transformation into eggplant, and you can't turn back until you go to a hospital. That's right, there's like anachronistic, sort of modern-esque hospital imagery. Oh yeah, there's the Game Boy one as well. Does it happen there? Oh, cool. Samuel watches the VODs. That's sick. Good to know. Thanks. The Twitch deletes them after a little bit, but they're all up on YouTube as well, if anyone's interested. Let's see. Gibbon had some other examples there. Eggplant men are common enemies in Wrecking Crew. Good. Good call. They're the bad food drop in Adventure Island. Okay, good. Don't have much experience with that series, so that's good to know. There's an evil eggplant demon in Adventure Island 4. And yes, the Game Boy one does have the eggplant mechanic as well. Oh, sorry. Ah! Oh boy, we're running out of time. Climb faster! Oh, this went badly. Can try again there. It's not exactly a crazy climber. This game looks bumpin'. Yeah, this game's pretty good actually. I was a little worried about it at first. I thought it'd be like a wordy, like boring board game kind of thing, but the minigames are the main focus here, and I think it's better for it. Samuel bringing up the new official Rugrats NES game, which, yeah, looks pretty cool. You can sort of change between NES style graphics and sort of a new, like, high spec 2D artwork graphics kind of thing, which is pretty interesting. Although I do wonder how it works changing between them, because they look so different. How the gameplay is gonna be mirrored between them, you know? Because like the NES like portions are even in 4 to 3, they're in letterboxed form or pillarboxed, whatever. Yeah, oh yeah, and you can pick things up, which is why Samuel's making a comparison to Mario USA, but also says it's striking how much Tommy looks like a Bonk. That's a good call. I never thought of that, but it's true. Tommy Pickles is the modern BC kid. Not even modern. When was Rugrats? Was it around this time? I feel like it must have been around this time. This is 94. Some confusion about Kid Icarus myths and monsters here. Did it have the eggplant wizard? The poop. Who's throwing poop at me? Rude. The final boss is a multi-screen demon guy. That sounds pretty sick. Gibbon often memes about Phoenix Rising being a next-gen Kid Icarus title. She's wondering if there is something analogous to the eggplant wizard in it. Samuel is floored that someone else is actually doing the Lizard Cube thing, referencing Lizard Cube's remake of Wonder Boy 3 The Dragon's Trap, which had a toggle between new and old graphics. But other games have done that too. Like, I don't know, The Master Chief Collection. That's the only other one I can think of right now. Samuel says, I hope the HD version is actually a layer on top of the emulation. That would be a whole new world, a whole new different point of view. Gibbon is bringing up switching between styles works perfectly in Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap, and the one Alex Kidd remaster. I forgot that one did it too. I have not heard good things about the Alex Kidd remaster. She says, I imagine it's similar here. And those are just layers on top of the emulation. Get bird, get bird. Oh, only 2 hits. No time for smilers. Oh. Oh, I wonder if they have the head bonks doing double damage in this engine. I suspect this is just built in the same engine as PC Genjin 1 because of release dates. They even reused the transformation from PC Genjin 1 in the... Oh! This guy. They reuse it in the Breakout game. Let's see. In Wonder Boy, they actually re-implemented everything based on reverse engineering. No actual emulation there, says Samuel, but Gibbon says that's not quite true. It's built on top of a Super Master System ROM that's been broken down to its assembly, so it's technically emulation, but very advanced emulation that is unique to that title. Wow. I have no idea either way, so I'll have to take your word for it. Oh, nice yellow palette for the forest. That works pretty well. Wait! Out of nowhere. Oh yeah. Love juggling things with the head attacks. Using the different properties. Oh! No! 22. 22's huge. No! Oop. Yeah, this one would be bound to be hard, wouldn't it? Oh, you can even rebound off the wall like that. It's cute. Oops. No! Oh! You can get eaten by them! We don't have an interior level in this game though. What score do I get for not having cleared it? Still got points for enemies beaten. So yeah, we'll keep trying on that. Makes sense that it gets harder. Samuel only recently realized that PC Genjin is a play on PC Engine. Yes, that's the whole point. He was supposed to be a mascot for the system. Albeit one, you know, not made by NEC, but sort of for NEC, by Hudson and Red. Go away. Popping up right onto me is so rude. So the dinosaurs only take 1 hit to kill, but they can eat you, which slows you down a bit more. Oh, that was the worst thing I could have done. Get neither of the birds. And everything still is worth the same. I didn't look up what Suka meant on a sign. Don't know if anyone knows Japanese to fill me in on that. Samuel just figured, hey, PC caveman, of course, makes sense. Sure, but you're overlooking the awesome pun. Then when you get to GB Genjin and FC Genjin, it's no longer a PC Engine pun, but then they're like riffing on the initialism. No, I'm asking. I haven't looked up Suka. The cheek. The absolute... Okay. No, cactus. They're too tall. Forget it. Wow. Something weird about the hitbox there. I like that I seem to be invincible in this, despite all the combat. Yeah, you can only get them after they've popped out. Oh! Hey, we did it. I could look it up right now. Disappointment, letdown, miss, failure. So like miss or blank. That makes sense. Hey, that's our crown. Which has unlocked something happening. That's a very strange looking dinosaur. Samuel's saying Suka is essentially dud, no prize. Yeah, cool. That's more what it would be in that context. Rurararara. Watashi super ongaku ka no. So far, mi re don desu. Okay, so this dinosaur is saying I'm the super music person, and their name is So Far Mi Re Don. It's like a pun on the scale counting backwards from so far mi re do, and then instead of do it's don, which is like the ending for a dinosaur name. So it's a very good pun. Kimi mo ongaku no lesson o. So you are going to have a music lesson. Question. Yes, I am. So here's the 7th minigame. Oh no. Are you kidding? I have to repeat this whole thing? I hate these kind of things. Sure, let's do it. Missu wa... Oh, I can get 2 misses. Yeah. So they've written down there do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. But Samuel pointing out how awkward putting the art next to the fu makes it fit in. Ganbatte kudasai. I'm allowed to miss twice. Well, good God. Like, how am I supposed to bloody remember that entire sequence? It's ridiculous. Also, this dinosaur has a keyboard piano built into its back. Pretty weird. Yes, let's go again. Alright. This is just impossible. So this is Mary Had a Little Lamb. I could look up the note sequence of Mary Had a Little Lamb and just do it that way, because that goes too fast and there are so many notes. Yeah, I'm really bad with music, reading music, pitch. Yeah, not my strong suit. Probably supposed to sing the melody and figure out what each note is, says Samuel. Mary had a little... But which one is which? Also, what is this guy doing? I'm timed as well? That's absurd. Wait, is that character showing me which one? They are. Oh, that helps. Okay, well, this is doable now. It just requires a little finesse. Oh, twice? 3 times? This is way too slow, but now that I know that I have a little helper, this is actually doable. Okay. I did it! I'm a musical genius. This looks like a great way to win extra points, because I have a ton now. Ah! Oh, subarashi desu. You did well. Watashi kando shimashita desu. Desu. Kando. It's kando. Please enjoy this remix. Mary Had a Little Lamb for Dinosaur Piano. Kando, being deeply moved emotionally. Or disinheritance, disowning. 2 opposite things there, but I think it's probably the first one. Gohobi toshite Nico chip. So give me Nico chips, 100 points. Presento shimasu. So the dinosaur is giving me Kando, emotionally moved. Samuel coming in clutch there. Why does the dinosaur speak broken Japanese? Obviously because they're European. Anyway, I'm not sure what that meant in terms of my exact point total coming out of this. But do you want to do the next thing? I'd love to. Okay. What song is this? What song is that? Maybe the remix will help us identify it. I've switched the palette to what I like to call the Trans Pride palette. The pastel pink and blue with the white as the off color. The emulator calls that, there's a little picker down here. Select shader. No, not shader. Display mode. Pastel mix. This is one of the presets on the Game Boy Color. Yeah, it's nice. Ooh. I can just walk between the keys. That's a lot better. Samuel says, he's given the stereotypical European/American foreigner voice. I guess it's because he's Mozart, yeah. Yeah, I figured it was a sort of classical composer thing with the look of the wig and stuff. And they're all European. So does anyone know what this song is? I don't recognize it. Nope, don't know it. Let's keep going. Yeah, I think I only got 100 points from that. Don't know why they mentioned Nickor chips. I don't like that I'm standing on the elongated tongue right now. This one's a bit more complicated. Again, it just says, sounds kind of like Mary Had a Little Lamb. That was the first one. Surely they wouldn't do it again. I don't think it was the same. Anyway, whatever. No, rude. Ugh, nuts. I wasn't even paying much attention to the original one, but since I have my helper, like, I don't need to. Oh no! Rewind. Oh! Still got that platform mechanics. What's this song? Don't know. Really don't know. Alright, there's another one. If it follows the pattern of the other minigames, there'll be 4. There might be more, we'll see. It's so long. Alright. Ah! Like a lot of Simon Says music games, music mini games, I'm thinking of like Donkey Kong 64. It doesn't sound like music when you're doing it back, which I think breaks the illusion somewhat. Ah. Oh wait, I did it. Samuel says, this game maybe bumps a little less than I initially thought. Well, I wonder how many people got up to the music, the piano dinosaur minigame. Because the rest of it's good. Another tune I do not recognize offhand. Maybe if you scoured some beginner piano lessons books. Good lord. Is this 3 Blind Mice? Maybe not. Is there another Bonk Game Boy game? There are 2 traditional platformers on Game Boy, and this, and there's another like release on the Game Boy which collected all 3 of them on one cartridge. So you got GB Genjin and GB Genjin 2. Some of the few games in the series to get European releases as BC Kid and BC Kid 2, but in North America they were called Bonk's Adventure and Bonk's Revenge, the same name as the first 2 PC Engine games in that region, which is a little confusing because they are completely unique adventures with their own transformations and levels and everything. Technically they this was released between the 2, so they reused the engine to make this freaky and deaky baby boy, as you say. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'll let the music play a little, in case there's any music sleuths out there want to pick this up. I don't know. Oh, some big jumps there. Samuel's been thinking a lot about Sugoroku games recently. You're gonna have to remind me what that is. It's one of those genres that there's a certain kind of person who buys them religiously and buys nothing but that genre. So it's like first-person shooters. Or car racing games. Oh. Tension, the flashing screen. It's high pressure. Oh my god, that was so close. Horse racing games, or fishing games, or sports are the examples that Samuel said. Sugoroku is board games where you roll a die and then something happens on certain spaces. Yeah, that's what I was afraid this would be. I think the kind of thing you're talking about. Snakes and Ladders is the main Sugoroku game in the Anglosphere, but Japan has a rich history of funky ones. Okay, well if they're more interesting than Snakes and Ladders, can't be that hard. Yeah, like Itadaki Street is one that I know of that is kind of big in Japan, sometimes gets localized, but I can't stand playing it. I think it's really boring. And I was afraid this would be like that, but it was more. It's proved to be more minigame focused, and the board game thing is sort of just a hub screen. Gibbon says, "I wonder if I can play these on my Gertie." She has a hurdy-gurdy, which is pretty sweet. Really cool. I am bound to try all the content in this game today, so I'm going to keep going until it doesn't give me any new tunes. So, wait. It didn't give me a tune this time. Let's check what the dino is saying. Zannen desu. Kimi ni oshiete agerareru kyoko wa. So I think what they're saying is, oh no, I've run out of things to teach you. From now on, you make new songs. Jump on my back, I think. Okay, so we're in the free play portion. There you go, that's my song. It's called BC Kids Theme, Milo Edition. How do I leave? Goodbye. Sure, whatever. See ya. Bye. So we've completed the dinosaur music game. That's not at all what I was expecting. But yeah, glad I could cover the whole thing, I suppose. So let's round this out by getting up to level 4 and clearing all the other minigames, and see if anything else happens. Surely there's a final confrontation with Drool, right? Now we'll just go in order, we've got plenty of money now. So I'll buy Breakout 3 and 4, and then proceed to complete them, hopefully. Yes, I think she gave me a discount again or something. Jump on my butt when you're done, is what he said, is what they said. Thanks for that. Yeah, so I did the right thing there. Jumping on the butt. Samuel says, I've recently looked into a friend group that wants to play weird old games with me. Oh, that's awesome. That's an ideal scenario, honestly. And we recently played a shovelware SNES Sugoroku game, and it was a great experience. Okay. So they're coming around to them. Wow. So this is the best. This is the best case scenario here. This is the second level transform power-up form from GB Genjin 1. And in this case it goes through blocks, but not the dark blocks. Only the lighter blocks. Oh, that looks pretty good. I did a music game. I played the piano on the back of a giant dinosaur whose back was a piano. And I didn't recognize any of the tunes except for Mary Had a Little Lamb.
You're a crab?
Oh yeah, the crab's the best form. It can't jump, but it can grab the ball. Oops. It can grab the ball. Yeah. Of course, we are timed. Oh no, we're not timed. That counter is actually just the number of blocks you have left. Bricks, whatever. Given says, this is quite ambitious for a Game Boy game. I'm quite impressed. Yeah, there's a little bit more going on than it appears at first, I think. Oh, we have a new kind of indestructible block, apparently. I got uncrabbed and missed the re-crab. What a shame. Samuel recently played Bonk's Adventure for the first time in ages and was surprised to find that it simply lacks level design for the most part. That's a funny way of putting it, but I can't disagree. It's a pretty straightforward platformer game. They get more inventive with subsequent games in the series for sure. Like, it's such a revelation when you start 2 and it's a vertical level that's full of slopes and waterfalls to climb. Not to mention the vibrant colours on display. Like, it's a huge... It's like a statement saying, like, look how far we've come. We're gonna do things differently this time. I'm not doing well on this. That's okay, we're not timed or anything. Given says she's surprised this doesn't have a fan translation. Yeah. Well, even like Super 2, which is, you know, a sequel to, on the Super Nintendo, to an internationally released game, right? That doesn't have a fan translation. Oh wait, it does! I played it! I forget what I just said. There's... what other games don't have a fan translation in this series? The remake, I guess, on GameCube. No great loss there. Yeah, this is probably the big one, I guess. Yeah, Samuel says about the first game, most levels are just a row of enemies, 1 or 2 at a time. And... oops, I destroyed the light. No crab for me. And it's even worse later on when they just start spamming enemies at you. Like, much more than 1 or 2 at a time. They just start throwing, like, half a dozen at you at once.
Clear?
Yeah, it's clear, but written in hiragana. That's kind of the gimmick of these games. Writing everything in hiragana so that it's hard to understand. Wait a minute, Samuel says, don't get me started on Super Bonk. What do you mean by that? Super Bonk is my favourite. It's flawless and perfect. I will not hear a word against it, but I don't know what you mean by that. Also, they said, do you think in France Bonk is called Bonk with a QUE at the end? No, because he's called BC Kid in France, because that's the European localized title. Bonk is only the silly American name for the series. To be fair, there are a lot more of the games localized in North America than there are in Europe and PAL territories, of which Australia is a part. And that's why, like, Super BC Kid is one of the only games that was actually released here. And it's the one I've played the most. Bad time to get this power up because it's all solid bricks that can't be shot through. Oh well. How do you like the inverted color palette for this one? I thought it might be a nice change of pace. Super Bonk is amazing. Good. You are a person of good taste. What does this do? What did that do? Right, yeah, sorry. With the chat delay and me not always reading things at the time, I can get a bit lost with that context. But yeah, don't get me started on how great Super Bonk is a sentiment that I can certainly get behind. It's really good. I was reading I often check on Hardcore Gaming 101, they have articles on a lot of obscure and interesting games. They have an article series on the BC Kid series. Doesn't cover all the spin-off stuff, but it hits the main points. It doesn't actually cover the Game Boy games at all, which is a bit of a disappointment, but yeah. I was reading that to like brush up on things and see what perceptions are, and whoever wrote them, because of course they're all freelance written for the most part, was of the opinion that Super BC Kid is like a lackluster installment, and Super Genjin 2 is like a return to form, which I don't agree with at all. I think Super Bonk is a very strong game, and like Super Genjin 2 has a lot of gimmicks and some interesting stuff, but I don't think it's as good, personally. What are we doing here? This level is like almost a puzzle level with how it's arranged. Samuel remembers being highly offended at the age of 13 or so when the Game Grumps played Super Bonk and quickly dismissed it as too weird. Wow. That sounds like very nuanced YouTuber rhetoric, to be sure. They have a lot of fans, so I won't say too much, but yeah, that's kind of disappointing, isn't it? That's just kind of how it is sometimes on that platform. Like, oh, this game's so weird, duh. And then not bothering to engage with it on its level, and then just moving on. It's the opposite of what I'm trying to do here, which is why I'm full clearing Viva, Chikkun, or Koku. Gibbon will go there and say too much. She says, gaming YouTubers are trash. It's a generalization, but I can't disagree. Wow, this is like super tight. The crab would really help here, but like the power-ups are timed and you only get them when you break a block. And here we go. We're one step closer. Oh, the little enemy helped me out that time. I don't even think it's that weird. It just has, like, fun, you know? But also, as Samuel says, how is that a bad thing? Yeah, if a game is weird, that's not bad. But I don't even think it's weird. I just think it's cool and quirky. Is quirky just another way of saying weird? I don't know. I feel like it's less pejorative. Samuel likes the grumps, seen them live and everything. Wow, gosh. But that was a Namida no moment. Don't know what that is, but okay. It was definitely a moment. Oh, there we go. That's what we've been waiting for. Perfect. Feels so good. Especially at that speed. I got quieter? Is my voice quieter? Hold on. Perhaps my seating position moved me too far from the microphone. Or maybe I was mumbling. I do that. I must project like a gaming YouTuber. So we did it. We've cleared out the breakout game now. Should pick up a hefty point bonus here. Yeah, good stuff. We're rich. Yugi-can. I transposed the 1010. The Rakuten. No? Well, Dokuten. That's it. Okay, let's just go in order. Next, building zone time. Yes, stay here, pick this, buy this, now leave. Leave. Nope. Yeesh. Okay. New palette time. How about the nice blue and red? Very standard. So Samuel is commenting on Hardcore Gaming 101. They obviously provide an invaluable service to society, but I do think it's kind of a shame when an article of theirs sets public opinion when it was written by someone who doesn't get the game. Sometimes because the writer didn't speak Japanese. Yeah, obviously when you're sourcing contributions from varied writers, it's going to be a mixed bag, but really? We can get around that, but I'll just do it again. Yes, let's see. One such case is Rabbit Mon Dieu, also known as Jumping Flash 3 on PS1, which is hugely charming if you speak Japanese, but perhaps a bit slim if you don't. And the HG 101 article is generally positively disposed, but it misses everything that makes the game itself. Interesting. Yeah, that's a shame. I feel like they often do try and get someone who understands Japanese to review that kind of thing. I think. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not here to defend them. I do enjoy their articles. But yeah, like anything, you can have some problems like that. I've certainly disagreed with articles on there before. Thought that they missed the point. But it is good to, if you're totally unfamiliar with something, to get a little bit of grounding in it through that. Not to mention have a look at some screenshots along the way. New palette time. For the building zone, a grey city palette. Sounds appropriate. What's that? Is that like a lava rock or something? Spikes! Triangle jump, triangle jump, triangle jump. This one's a lot more complicated. But they've given us nice vertical surfaces parallel that we could hop up. You can, reminder, you can climb if there are unbroken windows there, but if there's rough surfaces you have to bonk jump off them, and it looks like some windows contain spikes. Oh, this is getting harder. Okay. Someone says no shade, of course. I've spent far more time reading HD 101 than I've spent with my family. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Yes, yes. I am in the same boat. I know that there's one particular reviewer who I really don't like the writing style of, and if I see their name at the top of an article, I will just skip right past that one. But otherwise, like, it's in my RSS feed and I read pretty much everything they put out. And I learn a lot. It's really good. I think you can tell which ones are going to have spikes because they have a little shiny effect, maybe? Oh, oh boy, oh boy. No! The ceiling bonk. Such a problem in Super Genjin 2, part of why that game sucks to control. Does it suck to control, but it has problems. It's one of the things. Let's see. Oh, I should tell you about the layout. So on the left, that's the box art from the box. The box that this game came in when it was sold on shelves of shops and such, you know. There's also a Chikkun right next to Bonk on the cover. On the right that's how the compilation was sold. So the Game Boy cartridge that had GB Genjin 1 and 2 and this game in it was sold in a can, like a tin instead of in a box. I bought a copy of the game when I was in Japan once. It's just a loose cart though, so I don't have that lovely tin. We discovered last week as well that the Game Boy release of Samegame, the sort of tile matching puzzle game thing, which PC Genjin had a tile set in the SNES version. The Game Boy one also came in a similar tin, just like the Genjin collection. Let's see. Samuel asks, what is a Chikkun? Well, this character, that is a Chikkun. They're a common enemy through the whole series. They're that little dinosaur character with a big eggshell on top of their head, with the eyes sticking through. There's a lot of variants of them in 2 and 3. Oh, there's more Hudson cans, apparently. GB Wars came in a similar one, according to Samuel. Good to know. Yeah, I didn't know how widespread the can was, but that's cool. Alright, so we've cleared out city now. Can I see my results? I can press start and then look around this map. I can press select and look at this. So Chikkun Tataki, that's the mole. Whack-a-mole. Hone Hone Kuzushi. So that must be bone, because block Kuzushi is the popular breakout variant. So Hone Hone might be an onomatopoeia. Let's do a quick search. Hone means bone, so it's not an onomatopoeia, it's just the word bone. Bone bone. Bone bone breaker. Chikkun Monshun. Manshon. Sorry, manshon. Like mansion, the English word mansion. Except I think it's a French loan word, and in Japanese it means apartment. So it's a very different meaning to the English word mansion, but it's like similar source. Anyway, it's like the apartment blocks that we were climbing. There's a similar part in the very first game. There's a sign when you get to like the second last level, and I think it says Chikkun Apato. which is another word for apartment. So what's next? Mystery Zone, Chotto Coaster, like a bit of coaster, and Oi Shinbo, which is the dinosaur feeding one, but I don't know what that means. Shinbo. Never read these up till now. Shinbo. Patience, endurance. Huh. Or luxuriant vegetation. I don't know if any of these apply, to be honest. It could also mean an atrium, chamber of the heart. Oh, okay. I'm so glad you're here, Samuel. They say Oi Shimbo is a reference to the manga Oi Shimbo. I have never heard of this manga, so good to know. What is that manga? Can you tell me anything about it? Oi Shimbo is a portmanteau of Oishi and Kuishinbo. Okay, Oishi means like tasty. I don't know what Kuishinbo is. That's great to know. Ari, Hudson's Game Boy output. I want to GB kiss. It's my big dream. I have no idea what you mean by that. I'd love to know. I know I'm asking a lot of questions of you, but yeah, sorry about that. Alright, what do we want to do next? Let's save Mystery House for last. I think that's cool, and I want to see what that is. It'll be a good finish. Let's feed the dinos next. And then we'll ride the coaster. Kuishinbo means big eater. So it's a manga about eating, I guess. We're gonna feed some dinos. Oi Shimbo! Yokoso. Welcome to Oi Shimbo. Oi Shimbo is extremely interesting. It's the prototypical food manga and teaches you a lot about Japanese cuisine. That's interesting. And look at this, isn't this cute? We've gone from the volcano background to inside a giant kitchen, which is a classic location for a BC Kid game, is inside the big house. Love that, love to see that. It also reminds me of Game & Watch Gallery version of Chef, the Chef Game & Watch game, where you're inside the kitchen and you're juggling food to feed it to Yoshi. And that's one of the few Mario games where you play as Peach. How about that, huh? And of course she's in the kitchen because that's a woman's place. Thanks, Nintendo. Whoops. This is not going well. Notice the dinos are at different levels too, which probably makes it a bit more tricky to hit the one on the left. Oh, I did it! Hey! Oishimbo also contains oodles of the author's political views. He's highly adamant that hunting whales is an integral part of Japan's cultural heritage, for one, says Samuel. Gross! Thumbs down! Boo! Okay, boycott Oishimbo, please. That sucks. I really hate that kind of thing. Hunting whales is bad. Defending it as a part of cultural heritage sucks. Terrible. Go away. Oh, back in the kitchen. Okay, so we had two volcanoes and two kitchens, I guess. Slightly different layouts. The one on the right is higher up now. Too bad they couldn't spring for an extra background. Oop. I was kind of okay with it when I played Never Alone in Gachuna, Kisime in Gachuna, which is a platform game that has content relevant to the cultural to the culture of the what were they called? One of the native peoples of Alaska. It's a really interesting game. What are they called? Yes?
Midna's come to tell me that you're a problem.
Oh, am I a problem?
Well, I asked her to show me the problem, and she showed me you. Now she's showing me the garage door.
Our cat always wants to go in the garage. Inupiaq, that was it. The Inupiaq people of Alaska. And yeah, there were little like mini documentaries in there. And I think they're allowed to, like, even though whaling is generally banned, they're allowed to do like small scale whaling as part of their cultural thing. And I think that's a bit more okay because like it's not the industrial whaling that Japan does with the veneer of cultural or scientific whatever that they try to excuse it with. It is a more sustainable, small, very small kind of thing with the concept of their connection to nature being part of it and stuff. Ugh, there are so many fireballs in this kitchen, it can't be safe. Anyway, yes, I'm very against Japanese whaling practices. And why insert that into your manga? Come on, one more. Yeah, we fed the dinos. Let's see. Samuel says Oishinbo actually got cancelled after he put out a chapter telling people not to eat food from Fukushima. It'll irradiate your face, apparently. And Fukushima were like, well, that's slander and tangibly hurts our economy. Cancelled after something like 3 or 4 decades. Well, wow. He deserved it and good riddance. Good lord. Yeesh. Sounds like a real piece of work, that guy. I don't want to get thieved. Don't thieve me, bro. Kevin says, I wonder if you could do a playdate not bonk for legal reasons game with simplified controls and use the crank to do the head bonk air spinning. Oh my gosh, that's an amazing idea, actually. That's a great use of the crank, yeah. Damn, you got me so excited, and that's not gonna happen now. Yeah, fun idea.
You don't even have a play date.
No, I don't have a play date. I don't really want one either, but it's fun to think about. Samuel says, Gibbon says, I'll put it on my list of things to possibly make. Samuel says, the issue with Japan's whaling generally isn't that they're fishing endangered species, because that isn't the case 99% of the time, but 1, that there's no demand for the whale meat, so they're killing animals on an industrial scale for no reason, and 2, that they invade other countries' ocean territory to do this. Well, personally I have a lot more of a problem with the first one than the second one. Territory violation is like a political thing that doesn't concern me, but the fact that they're slaughtering these animals, these highly intelligent animals, and then not even eating the damn things, is just unconscionable to me. I think it's disgusting. Ooh, you don't have to have a playdate because you can sideload games onto the free dev emulator. So how does the crank work in that instance, Given? Oops. Whoa! It's finally gotten warm enough to open up the doors and windows for once. Get some fresh air in. And that leads to drafts and door slamming, sadly. But that's okay. Well worth it. I love fresh air. It's like my #1 favorite thing in the world. Yeah, I'm not sure how it would work exactly, but it's an interesting idea with the crank thing. Oh, we gotta do this. You actually have to jump back up here. Oh no! Hitbox on that spike is pretty out there. Okay, let's just... There we go, that's what we needed. So Samuel said, I wonder if using the crank to spin would feel alright if you have to quickly move your right hand from the jump button. Yeah, like I said, I don't know about that, but yeah. But you could call upon Clive Sinclair and make up on the D-pad jump. And that's a nice one, yes. You could do that if you wanted to torture people. Up to jump is just ridiculous. It's an absurd anachronism. I guess it can work in some control schemes, even in modern times. I've probably played a game that had up to jump that was made in the last 30 years. Given says it's got a thingy that you can move with the mouse to assign other controls to. I kind of want to get a Dreamcast fishing rod controller since it has a crank and accelerometer you could directly map to those on the emulator. That sounds sick, actually. Repurposing a Dreamcast fishing rod controller. Mapping that on. I wonder if you could. Samuel recently played Dizzy 1 and loved it. What a cool game. Then played Dizzy 2 and got proper incensed. What an uncool game. I don't know much about Dizzy, but it's an early Metroidvania, right? I think it's a bit of a silly way of putting it, but there were lots of that kind of game at the time. How about Red Palette? So Gibbons' thought is to use up to jump and then automate a lot of things. Like sticking to a wall by holding towards it Mega Man X style. That's a good idea. And then spin the crank to or from to chew your way up and down. Or press up and away to jump off the wall. Interesting. Yeah, it certainly seems like it would lend itself to like some experimental kind of control schemes, which is a lot of fun. No. Kind of curious how Brink of Extinction handles the controls. I'll be getting to that in a couple of weeks. Oh no! So my next stream after this will be Bomberman Hero. And then Bonk's Return on mobile. And then Brink of Extinction. And I'm pretty sure I've confirmed all of those playable. Okay, I haven't, but I'm assuming that they are. I've confirmed the tricky one, which is the 360 one. I'm sure I can handle doing a 64 game one way or another. And the mobile game, we've got lots of ways to do that. If it's not in Carby Break, I've got other standalone emulator tools to help with that. But Carby Break's great. It probably won't have all versions of the game in there though, so I'll have to do some digging. Do some comparison of versions. See if the low spec, low screen resolution one is significantly different. Check them out as I like to do. That'll be fun. Oh, nasty. Alright, gonna have to avoid all of that. There's some grinners to grab up there if you're bold, but let's try and stay alive, shall we? Bit of an auto-scroller. Let's see. Samuel loves the idea of cranking to climb. Gideon says, yeah, the idea would be anything head-related would be crank-controlled. That's fun. Samuel says, I love tying a button or other input to a physical object. Like, for example, A for Mario and B for Luigi in the Mario and Luigi games starting with Superstar Saga. Yeah, I like those a lot. And then when they had X and Y for the babies in Partners in Time, that was fun. Partners in Time's my favourite one. Which is a minority opinion, but I stand by it. Because it's on the DS, and has the more modern look that later games in the series do, which looks really good. Superstar Saga's a little bit jank, that's all. But it also doesn't have the awful touchscreen minigame spam that Bowser's Inside Story has. I don't know why everyone loves that game. It's a slog. Oh, we've got a fellow Partners in Time enjoyer with Samuel. I think Gibbon likes it too. It's a shame that it's so linear, but it can't be beat in atmosphere. Yeah, that's fair. I think all those games are very linear, but yeah. That one, I think, maybe more than most, with the segmented areas that you go between instead of having an interconnected world map, I suppose. But, I don't know. I didn't think the interconnected map added that much to the other games, so whatever. Just being able to explore each area in itself is enough for me. Recently replayed Bowser's Inside Story, says Samuel, and came to the same conclusion. Awesome. Glad I'm not alone in that then. Ugh, yeah, you gotta land on these ones on your feet or you're stuffed. Which is a bit of a problem. I messed up. I keep messing up. There we go. And one more? Yeah, no! Didn't get the jump off. There we go. Okay. This one's tough. If I wasn't cheating all the time, this would take quite a few attempts. Oh yes, Gibbon also a great Partners in Time enjoyer. Yes, PIT love in this chat, let's go. Yeah. Best one. Yeah, that's another thing I didn't like about Bowser's Inside Story, as Samuel points out, the top-down, side-on split. They say it was the worst thing that happened to that series, except for Nintendo driving Alpha Dream into the ground, of course. Well, yes, that's a given. Doing 2 remakes, I think, was a poor choice as well. Just make another one. That's what I think. But yeah, like this side-on side-scroll stuff is always like miserable in those games. It's not good. Holy heck, what? Samuel has an interview with Chihiro Fujioka, one of the higher-ups at Alpha Dream, coming up. Highly excited, though of course we won't be talking about his time at Alpha Dream. Oh, that's too bad. Maybe one question? No. That's interesting. In what capacity are you interviewing him, if I may ask? I'm curious how you got into that position. That's really cool. Alright, we're up to the last set of minigames now. We're going to take on the final Mystery House portions, or Mystery Zone. Let's pick the one that separates interactable colours from background colours. That'll help a bit in that one, I think. Do we have enough? We do! Beautiful. We never had to grind. How about that? I was worried. But it turned out just fine. So I think I see what this icon is. I think it's a Japanese-style gravestone, denoting the spooky ghost portion of this attraction. Not portion, like aspect. Ooh, an interior. We're in the dungeon of the castle, I guess. Whoa! Oh, cool. It's like a proper platformer stage. What a novelty. A snake. That's completely unlike any other enemy in the series, really. Just to have a realistic looking snake. How strange. Oh, the spooky crying eye. That didn't happen. It's for a podcast. So this interview is for a podcast about obscure video game history that Samuel is launching later this year. Oh, that's awesome. Tell us the name of it so I can give it a shout out here. I'm looking forward to that coming out. Oops, I've been destroyed. He follows Samuel on Twitter, so Samuel just tossed him a PM. That's sick. The episode will be about his first game, Earthbound, no relation, and more broadly, early Japanese text adventures and Extelsoft as a company. That sounds really interesting. Okay. Well, fair enough. You can lay off the Alpha Dream stuff. If it's about history in that kind of context. It sounds really cool. Alright, yeah, we do have to worry about health in this one. Oh, rude. So I guess this is supposed to be like ancient Egyptian pyramid full of traps and stuff. That old faux archaeology chestnut. Oh no! Dope. Alright. Obviously we have to wait under this overhang. I guess not? Ugh, what? We've got to spawn it in by moving the screen. And then hide, and then go around. Yeah. Although I could have gone up that narrow passage and broken those blocks maybe, with some choice triangle jumps. No! Whoa! We've got a whole pharaoh statue down here. One of the heads came off. Oh, I can ride it. This one's tough. What? Wow, okay. Didn't expect that. So the podcast is called Obscuriosities. 2 proof-of-concept episodes from a few years ago are already up, so that might be something. Cool, well, I will subscribe to that. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Although, not many video game podcasts, because I can't stand people's opinions on video games, apparently. But I'll be happy to listen to one of a historical bent like that. Sounds really cool. Obscuriosities. Gibbon is asking, what is the plot of this game again? Well, Bonk was asleep on a beach when he was washed away by a rogue tide, and he floated along until he just arrived at an island where King Drool had built a Chikkun-themed amusement park, which I guess is also full of death traps to trap Bonk specifically. And that's it, I think. This has got to be a secret passage, right? I guess it lets you skip the first trap, at least. I don't know if it's worth it. No! Ah, this is tough. Do a short hop and then, yeah, glide over. That works. Stupid. Stupid snake. Let's try and skip the next one too. By doing this. Yeah, look at that. Oop. A little tricky. That skips a big chunk, like that. One of Samuel's guiding principles of this podcast is thou shalt keep it posy. Sounds good to me, assuming posy means positive and not posterior. But they also said, I like how the GBC coloring sprites differently ruins the effect of the surprise elements in this stage. Yeah, I was using it as a crutch to make it easier on myself, but now you've pointed out, I think we should try it the way it was intended a little bit. Oh, the button's not working. Why is the button not working? I can't cycle the palettes apparently. Aussie's not how the Aussies say it. What? Come on. Hold on, I've lost some time here. I don't know why my palette button is not working, but I've got the palette picker to pick a different palette. That's pretty appropriate, but it still has that object thing going on. That does as well, but to a lesser extent. Maybe that's subtle enough to... Yeah, this works pretty well. So you can skip part of this if you get on these blocks. Whoops. What? Come on. What are you talking about? I should be able to break that. Never mind. Yeah, I agree. The Pharaoh head falling off might have been more impactful if it was unexpected, says Samuel. Does this emulator do SGB palettes? No, unfortunately, like most emulators for Game Boy, it ignores the existence of the Super Game Boy. So you can't do borders on this one, and you can't do Super Game Boy specific palettes, sadly. When I'm specifically playing Super Game Boy stuff, I'll use KGB or MGBA, which I did last time when I played this. I used MGBA to have the border, but I'm not sure how to cycle palettes in that one, so... Yes, it is similar to Aussie slang. BGB. I haven't heard of BGB as an emulator. I'll have to check that out. Samuel's also recommending Same Boy. Best Game Boy emulator hands down. I'll have to check that out too. Do either of these have a Mac port is my next question. BGB's the second best. Okay, good to know. Because I'm playing on a Mac right now. I'm using OpenEMU, which is good and convenient, but it's got a... I think it might have 2 different Game Boy cores, but it also... yeah, never mind. Don't worry about it. Oh, we're in China. Okay, the bamboo. And also a panda. I was thinking, like, what is this? I keep playing that normally. We're in spooky China. How much do you want to bet that this can be Jiangxi? $1 billion, $1 million? I'm not sure what that is. We've got spooky jaws. We have a chicken on a bicycle. Very scary. This doesn't really have the same horror theme that the other ones did, does it now? And we haven't even seen a Jiangxi yet. Same Boy is Mac first. Oh, good to know. Good to know. BGB's Windows only, but has a far better debugger. What are these things? They're not jade cabbages, are they? Just thinking of like stereotypical Chinese stuff. It looks like it's like a dish on a plate. Thoughts? Interesting. Boy has a Mac port. Oh, okay. Apparently Jiangxi were apparently forgotten about for many years. Kind of an irrelevant part of Chinese folklore. And then they had a modern resurgence for some reason. Thanks to the film Encounters of the Spooky Kind in 1980. That's the cheesy localized title. I cannot read that kanji. And then yeah, you see Jiangxi everywhere in Japanese games. That's an example of a Chinese spooky thing. The jumping vampire. They're in Super Mario Land. They're in like Darkstalkers. Where else are they? Probably elsewhere. I don't know what those things are. Spooky Panda. Samuel thought the spooky dish is a roast chicken. Not very Chinese though, is it? So this film is when a Hong Kong director, star, writer Sammo Hung, I know that name. Hope I'm pronouncing it right. Made a horror comedy kung fu film about them, and that film gave birth to an entire genre of Jiangxi films. They got further developed and solidified into a set of tropes by Ricky Lau's Mr. Vampire series. Sammo Hung's film was the first Chinese movie to use Jiangxi. Before that, the only vampire films made of China were of Western vampires. This is fascinating stuff. Gibbon says that there was some in Haunted Junction, which is an anime that she quite enjoyed in her youth. I haven't heard of that either. I'm learning a lot today. And so there was an explosion of Jiangxi films from 80s in the 80s and 90s, including Vampire vs. Vampire, where a Jiangxi fights a Western vampire. That sounds amazing. Great concept for a film. I recommend checking out the Super Mario manga by Kazuki Motoyama, which the first parts of it, well, the very first parts were Mario 3, but the first, like, published and the first collected parts that are known in, like, this volume scheme were based on Super Mario Land, and they expand on the Jiangxi stuff. Make it a big part of the story, which is pretty cool. I love his manga. It's basically the only Mario thing that I care about apart from the 1993 movie. That's not true. I've just spent ages talking about Partners in Time. I'm being facetious. There's more. The genre died off in the 90s, but the legacy remains. And this is the power of the Criterion Channel, which had an exhibit set of films on Jiangxi for some reason. And it turns out the movie Encounters of the Spooky Kind is actually really good. That's really fascinating stuff. Thank you. Samuel's hot take is preferring Super Mario Land 1 to 2. Interesting. I can get on board with that for sure. Land 2 is cool, but Land 1 is weird. And short. And it has those tiny sprites. I always love that. You don't have enough screen space in Land 2, really. Samuel also said that the inscrutable sprites in this Chinese stage reminded them of Pitfall for Game Boy, and how entirely inexplicable the sprites were. Speaking of which, let's try another shader. Back to pastel mix for a bit. You can collect a pair of lungs in each stage on Pitfall GB, and you frequently get accosted by what appears to be flying Anomalocaris that someone's stepped on. What's an Anomalocaris when it's at home? And yes, I assume the lungs is merely what it appears to be. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Oh yeah, bamboo trap. They're sharpened. This palette really doesn't work with this stage, I'm gonna say. Look at those houses. Yeah, it's a bit drab. Dark green? Sure. Guess that'll work with the bamboo. Anomalocaris is the prehistoric crustacean-like animal that the Pokemon Anorith is based on. Interesting. I like Anorith. Certainly better than Cradilly. Although having a fossil based on a plant was a bit of a novelty. Crap. Yes! Oh, that'll loot, yeah. It's a long one. Bit of a gauntlet and an auto scroller to boot. Ooh. What are these things? Does kind of look like a bird. We done? Done. And no Jiangshi to be seen. Let's see. You can watch Encounters of the Spooky Kind on Daily Motion with English subtitles. Good to know. Just go to dailymotion.com/video/x8hxqq7. Piracy for the win. Alright, we're done. We've completed Mystery Zone and all the minigames. And we get an ending sequence! Sick. Everything is exploding. The drool statue is crying. All the attractions are ruined. Oh no, the dinosaur piano is sad. I didn't want this. Not like this. Oh, that's nice. That's a cool screen. Run run. Sora no sanpo. Oh. It's so fast. Kaboom, kaboom. Yeah, take that. Kuso. Yoku mo yatta na. Kore demo. Something. Drool appeared. Oh! Instead of being blown up by the missile, we just rode it out of there. Chikshaw. Machiya. It's so fast. This ending is good and cool, says Samuel. Rakuran, Rakjin. See ya. Oh, am I? No control. It's just the sequence of credits. Game design, Matsubokuri. Program, Takeshige Hideki. Graphics, Urabe Katsuhiko. Sound produce. Oh no, too fast. Director, Okubo Norio. Gensaku. Let's see. Samuel said before that advisor that they forgot to answer earlier. GB Kiss was a feature Hudson implemented into some of their cartridges, where there was infrared communication built into the cartridge before the Game Boy Color had that feature. There was even a modem that let you transfer data to and from your PC from your Game Boy via infrared. Wow, that's intense. Good stuff. That's really interesting to me. I did some research a while ago about the Ubi key, which used the infrared port on the Game Boy Color to communicate between different Game Boy Color games that were published by Ubisoft. To unlock things like Rayman, you could unlock an extra level or something. That's cool. Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver had a little IR, a tiny little IR thingy in the game card as well to communicate with the Pokewalker. Samuel says this song has a stanza straight out of the ending theme of Super Mario Land. And Super Mario Land also ends on Riding Through the Sky. It was very relevant, apparently. Gensaku is script. Okay, cool, thanks. We've also got another interpretation of those chicken on a plate enemies. Little feet beneath what seems to be a plate carrying tempura shrimp, maybe. Interesting. Or as I call them, prawns, of course. The end, Oshimai. And that's how it ends. Rocket chase through the skies. I cannot advance this screen at all, so we're just watching this forever now. Just resetting to see what happens. Kare... What's Kare? So the name of this person is GB Genjin, is established here. The name is GB Genjin. I never really thought about it before, but is GB Genjin a distinct person from PC Genjin and FC Genjin? Is he a different Genjin? A different little boy who just looks the same? There's some deep lore for you. We'll have to think about that one going forward. I think I've broken Gibbon's brain. Samuel says, thank you for showing us this cool boy game. I don't know if that's a typo, but that's funny. Yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks so much. Gibbon does not want to contemplate having multiple Genjins. I would like to see all the Genjins together. Including the one from PlayStation Home, who's just like a realistic person wearing a skin. An animal skin, that is. You know, as clothes. Anyway. That was GB Genjin Land. Viva Chikkun Okoku. Viva Chikkun Kingdom. A lot cooler and more fun than I initially thought. I'm glad I returned to this to play through the whole thing, because there's a lot of unique content in the later stages and stuff. It's worth seeing the whole thing. And that dinosaur music game, wasn't that worth checking out? Bit of a pain, but it was funny anyway. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this one. It's part of the ongoing series on Bonk and BC Kid, PC Genjin, etc. No, Chikkun is not the roast chicken in the Chinese stage. It must be a pun based on chicken, but they're dinosaurs, right? They're definitely dinosaurs. Yeah, so next time we're going to play some Bomberman Hero. It's a 64 game, Nintendo 64 that is, not Commodore 64. And it was originally going to be a BC Kid game in 3D, and then they retooled it to become a Bomberman game during development. But we're going to have a little play with it. I probably won't play through the whole thing, but I'm really curious to see what about it feels like it could have been from a Bonk phase of the project, that sort of thing, you know, could be interesting. But anyway, we'll do a stream on that, and then we'll wrap up this long series with the last two Bonk games, the mobile one, Bonk's Return, and the cancelled modern 2010 one, Brink of Extinction. It was. You can read up about it on, I don't know, Unseen 64 maybe? I'll do the research. I'll try and bring that to next stream. But yeah, until then, have a good one. Take care. Drink lots of water. See you next time. Bye. Wait a minute. One more thing before we go. Take a look at that line that says licensed by Nintendo. Now, why are the first two N's of Nintendo thinner in line weight, but then the third N is thicker like the one in licensed? What's going on with that font? What's happening there? Why are the N's different? Something to think about. Anyway, goodbye. Sorry, I just noticed that, and I wanted to comment on it before I entered the stream. Okay. Goodbye. It's because they're not a full tile. Yeah, I guess so. Like, it's a monospace font. It's not a monospace font, actually, but I don't know. The eye is not 8 pixels wide. Oh, it's because they're next to the eye, so they fit 3 characters into 2 character tiles by doing it that way, I think. That could be it. Just to fit it in. Interesting. Deep Game Boy development stuff here. Alright, I need to go. I need to stop. Before we just... yeah. Bye!